Good morning and welcome back to our continuing edition with Terra Roux with Joe on the job site. Tara, as
Yes.
we parted earlier today, well, thank you for coming back. As we
My
parted
pleasure.
earlier today, we were talking about NAWIC.
Yes.
And NAWIC is the National Association of Women in Construction.
Correct.
It's a very good organization. Can you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Absolutely. So here we are a national organization. Currently, we have over 6,000 members across the country. Here, local to the greater Orlando area, we have a chapter that typically runs a little over 100 members. I'm currently sitting in the position of president elect, and I'll take over the role and the leadership of the organization in October of this year. And
Congratulations.
thank you. And it's an organization for that truly embraces women who are working in the industry, whether it's as a tradesperson, an administrative role, project management, executives, anyone in any level of uh, of leadership or participation in the construction industry. One thing that we have really heavily focused on, especially in the last 4 or 5 years since I've been a member, is the tradeswomen, making sure that the tradeswomen are embraced and provided the support that they need in the field. And it's not about being put on a pedestal, it's about being treated equally and providing the services that are needed on the job sites so that
Yep.
everyone has that same opportunity. And NAWIC does a really good job of supporting that, and especially nationally.
Wow. So if you were to sum it up, what's the overall goal for NAWIC?
So the overall goal is truly embracing women in the industry, providing training, leadership, development, and whatever an individual would need, whether it's mentorship, training and all aspects. We have a lot of training programs that we offer, and there's great opportunities just to come to a meeting and meet with other women that are in the industry. We All of the chapters have monthly meetings, and we typically bring in anywhere from 30 to 50 people at those meetings, and they're people of all different roles in the industry. So whether it's finance, insurance, real estate agents, project management, all different roles, and we can connect you as far as leadership is concerned, if you need a mentor, or if you're a small business or any size business and you're looking for other subcontractors to do work for you, it's also a networking opportunity as well.
Yeah, and networking doesn't just mean finding connections, it's about having other people to talk to.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned training programs. What
Mhm.
are some examples of the training programs that NAWIC has?
So we have a foundation. It's the NAWIC Education Foundation, and NEF, as all of us know it as, is an we offer multiple trainings, everything from blueprint reading to bookkeeping and construction industry technicians. So especially for someone who is new coming into the industry, maybe in an administrative role, and is saying, "Listen, I want something more. I want additional training. I want to learn more about the industry." And may not have the opportunity with their current role to be able to learn more about the industry. So it's everything that all of the basics you would need in order to be successful at jumping into our industry and being successful in it.
So how would someone find, someone decides I'm going to join NAWIC. They can just walk in and join.
They can.
Then how would someone who wants to look up what kind of training programs, how would they find that information?
So they would be able to go to www.nawic.org. That's our national organization.
Hmm.
We also have the local chapter, which is nawickorlando.org. And on those sites, there are links to all of the training and development opportunities within the local chapter, the region, and nationally.
And then so there's multiple training classes each year. They
Yes.
can select something that fits their needs or their interest.
Mhm.
And is there a cost for it?
For as far as the classes are concerned, yes, there is a nominal fee for those classes. They are all backed by certified training certificates that are provided. So it's certainly something that can be brought back to your employer and utilize as an opportunity to be able to show them that you have a certification that is certified. in the industry.
So someone wanted to read blueprints, understand cost sheets, how to do uh, billing, any
Mhm.
kind of the accounting series, or a banker or
Absolutely.
who's involved in it. They're all in this group that can help lead and guide, and some of them are teaching the courses.
Absolutely. Typically the people who are teaching all of the classes are members. Some of them very, very seasoned, have been in the organization 25, 30 years, and others newer people who have come into the industry and are very passionate about training and development, who like to get in and teach everything that they know.
Well, it's a great organization, and I love to hear about it. Can you tell me? I see the rose sitting on the table.
Absolutely.
What it's actually done quite well.
It is, it's very so the red rose is a symbol that that NAWIC utilizes. It is our call it our national flower. It's a flower that represents our organization. And when you become a member, we present each of our members either with a W pin, or in some cases a red rose, as a welcome to the organization. And it truly is about blooming. It's early on stage growth in the industry, and then blooming into truly the full open individual that you can be in this industry.
Well, I like that. It's a nice symbol.
Yeah.
So, in the training part, you were mentioning that. Now, are we in WIC week this coming up?
Yes, we are actually so Women in Construction Week. It's an annual celebration of empowering and supporting, and really thanking and embracing the women who are in the industry. This is an event that it started back in I believe 1998 was around the time frame when it went national. And every year since then, all of the chapters across the country participate in this event. They offer training, development, job site visits, webinars. Every chapter, we are very competitive in this industry. I think that's something that we can all
Oh,
agree.
yes, and very
So
much.
we compete with each other to see who's going to bring up the next best thing that we can offer. And locally, we've done it here. We have concrete plant tours,
Yeah,
and we're giving back to we love to give back. Something that is near and dear to my heart and to our organizations is being able to give back to the local environment, and that the people here, just so they can they understand who NAWIC is, what we are, what we're meant, what we've been brought here to do.
so WIC week, does it occur every year the same time?
Yes, it's the first week of March every single year. Starts on Sunday, goes through Saturday, and most chapters try to fill some have some kind of an activity every day of the week. Some are not able to hit that, and that's okay. It's the thought and the effort that goes into the opportunities that are available for all of us to participate in.
That's 6,000 members nationwide and growing is pretty good.
Absolutely.
Now, earlier, we had talked about what age group and how do you attract your NAWIC? How do you attract people for NAWIC?
So, and it's while it can be challenging to get out there and really embrace have people embrace the organization. It's all a lot of it is word of mouth. We really put it out there. We have national events that we hold. Our organization really does the best. We partner with a lot of bigger organizations. We partner ABC is a phenomenal partner for us in here in Central
Right?
Florida, and they support us. And while they could have plenty of other women's groups out there, they support us phenomenally. And we go out there and truly team up and make sure that everyone knows what we offer and why we offer it.
Yeah. Is there an age restriction for this group?
There is not. We have student groups here in the Central Florida area. We do have a
Now, when you
couple
say
of
student, is that at a high school level or college level?
So high school and college, we have
Oh,
we
that's
have we have
good.
we have a high school group over at Lyman High School. There's dozen students or so who are led by our we have an event that we hold every year. Our camp chair, and she goes out to the once a month. They meet and they put a platform together. They decide if they're gonna do a build project, or they bring in speakers so that these young students in high school can see what the industry has to offer them before they even get out of high school. And then we also move it on to the college level. We have a there are college students who are members of our organization, and they're embraced. We try to keep the costs extremely low for them so that the initiative is out there. We welcome them to come to our meetings and meet with individuals. It's a great opportunity for them as far as networking is concerned when they're looking at their careers moving forward. So they have access to all of those, avenues to be able to really set themselves up for success.
So, if you were going to, you mentioned earlier possibly expanding into age groups. What's the youngest you think you could talk to and see if they had an interest in construction? NAWIC.
So a goal that we have, we reach out to our youngest groups are in kindergarten. We have an event every year called Block Kids. It is an awesome opportunity for children that are in kindergarten through 6th grade to come out to a location, and they are given a challenge with 100 Legos, a piece of string, a rock, and a piece of tinfoil, and they're given 45 minutes to build something construction related. And the
I want to
kids
see the one with the rock and the string.
Yes, and it's amazing. I mean, usually they'll use them as part of cranes, that there are a lot of cranes, we see a lot of those, but we've seen, construction sites be built. We have seen, recycling plants. The rock was used in a recycling plant this past year. They're the kids are their creativity is amazing, and that 4th grade, 5th grade, even the 3rd graders, the imagination that they have that they bring to the table is phenomenal.
I've seen those in one of the local hardware stores puts on a work camp for
Mhm.
kids, and they can come in and build birdhouses
Yes.
and different little projects and stuff. And it's a boys and girls all together in there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're having a blast. We may have
Absolutely.
a few future carpenters or project managers in there we don't know about.
That's very true.
Do I was looking at the flyer here where it says leading builders and building leaders. It's a slogan for NAWIC.
Absolutely. So leading builders and building leaders truly is just showing that, we are taking things we wanna take things to the next level when it comes to this industry. We wanna make sure that women feel, women, anyone, we embrace everyone. Anyone is invited to any of our meetings, and we're leading builders in the direction of the industry, making sure that they understand that embracing all of our members, people out in the industry, that there's such a high importance in it. And then building leaders is giving people the tools that they need in order to be able to be successful. So if that can start as early as, I've been a member with the organization for 5 years. My first 2 years, I was fairly quiet. About, halfway through my 2nd year, I had someone come up to me and say, "Hey, would you wanna help out with, this, that, and the other?" "Sure, no problem." After getting involved with one thing, one leads to another, and here I am, coming up on my 3rd year on the board of directors for the organization here, and I'll be walking into a presidency role here at the end of the year. So it's an opportunity for myself to be able to continue to grow, because growth is something, being a sponge is always wanting to learn, and taking the
Yes.
opportunity to keep going on. And it also, I think one really amazing thing, I sat in a meeting a couple of years ago, and I heard an individual say that she didn't find a place to sit at the table. And I thought to myself, wait a second, this is glass ceiling. I've been very blessed where I haven't felt glass ceiling because I didn't allow it to be there, but not everyone is in that same position. At NAWIC, we're able to remind our members that it is so important to make space at the table for yourself, build your own table, and truly take what you know and take it to the next level. You are in control of that. You're in control of
Right.
your
I lo
destiny.
That's pretty
So,
good for there's insight for some, and I've known individuals in the past that just kinda sit back and
mhm,
wallflowered out and then after a while they disappeared.
right.
That's pretty good. I like the part push through the ceiling.
Absolutely, and there was a period in my career where I sat back just a little and did a lot more observing, but then I had an amazing mentor who came back and said, "That's not you. You need to take it to the next level." And from that point on, that glass ceiling was not there because I didn't allow it to be there. Keep pushing through.
What how would you just what are some of the things you were involved in to keep pushing through that glass ceiling?
So a lot of the community events is one thing that I'm passionate about. Being able to help give back to not only the industry, but to like helping be out there with my sisters in this organization and truly looking at how we can make things better. That camaraderie that you all bring to the table. You go to conferences and
Yep.
I mean these conferences that we have 3 a year, we have a national conference, 2 local conferences, and there's always that thrive for something better, push towards the next. What's challenges are we gonna put in front of ourselves to make sure that we're taking a step, the next level step for the organization and for ourselves. It's not just about the organization, it's about helping yourself rise as well.
Wow. What other advice could you offer to an individual that's up and coming in the industry?
Get involved in whatever you can. It's, the daytime job, you learn so much there, but when you get outside of the walls of the company that you work in or even the job site that you're working on, getting out there and getting the involvement, looking at your seasoned people who have been in the industry 30, 40, 50 years, and there is so much knowledge that those individuals have, and so many of them want to share that. But if nobody's asking them for it, what reason do they have to just share it, you
Well,
know?
I can side with that because sometimes when you share it without being asked, it's taken in a different text or the wrong way.
Absolutely.
I can see that. And as your time is coming up and moving through, what part of your life did it say, okay, I'm diving into this. I'm going to get fully involved in NAWIC.
There have been there have been times in the past where I have been told that that I wasn't enough or that I didn't have what it took to really get to that point. And I had to get to I think I had to get to that point in my life where I said, "You know what? I want something more for myself." So I when I started at NAWIC, that was my push. I pushed myself. I went back to school. There were some things that some personal goals that I had for myself.
What, when you said you went back to school, what were some of the things you went after?
I actually went back and studied to get my contractor's license for the state of Florida. So, a certified general contractor here.
And
Um, and
come on.
It's and that it was a challenge. It was something that I needed to I really wanted to take that next step and, you know, took the test, went through the classes, took the test, and, passed through them, and I'll tell you that that was a relief.
So
The
you
confidence it gave.
passed.
Yes, I passed all 3 tests first round, and the pass rate on it was not high when going into it. You weren't really sure how many people were gonna pass through, and, but yes,
Yeah,
passed
that
through it.
I've heard that it was a very tough test.
Yes, it was.
And that's a good credit for you to it tells people I know what I'm doing with this. I'm familiar with it. That test is covered as a large area
Yeah,
from finance and code and laws and some of the general how do you figure concrete things. Those were the easy ones.
right.
It's the tough ones and the legalize and the lien laws and all the little parts and pieces you get to study.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's something that you don't really get involved in. You get to a point in your career where you don't think that you're gonna get involved in those things. Become a project manager, and after a period of time, you will get exposed to it. So it's definitely something to work towards and through, so
So your track record from when you started in school, in high school, you wanted to be involved in medical. And then later on, you had a challenge. Someone said, "No, you can't do it." What are you sitting here today and think back on what they say, what would you say to that person?
Tell me again that I can't.
I
Because
like that.
while I took a different route, I took the route that was right for me, and all of those challenges happen for a reason. You know, I'm a firm believer in that. There was a reason why that didn't work for me, and once I got into something there's a passion that I have for this that I thought I had for the medical field, but now that I'm in this, I
Yeah.
couldn't have thought of anything else that I would wanna do.
Do you feel like you missed anything by not pursuing or staying in the medical field?
Not at all. Because I've gained so much in this industry, you know, that from the diverse portfolio of the jobs that I've been able to work on to, you know, just the experiences, the people, the path that I've followed. I've moved so many times. While the move is a little crazy, I've been exposed so much that I can now share moving forward.
If you were starting over again with your career, would you have explored anything differently, or would you say, "No, the path I had was fine. It made me who I am today."
I I think I like the path that I took, and some of that path was dictated for me because of the projects that I was put on. But I would say looking back, probably about 7 or 8 years ago, I looked back at the route of the projects that I worked on, the opportunities that were put in front of me, and I did not realize until then that, wow, that haven't done the same type of project more than once or twice, and that
Um,
you know, and that's only fairly recent in my career. Beyond that, the first 15 years of my career, I never worked on the same type of project twice. So that's pretty neat.
I think that's a blessing in a way. It's
Absolutely.
different projects, different mindsets, different thoughts, different plannings, different development, different challenges. I like the fact of I call them one-offs.
Absolutely.
Something you don't build, and if you ever work in a theme park, you'll know exactly what I mean,
Mhm.
because
Absolutely.
this one original system, building, components, schedule, planning, it's one,
You
that's
will
it.
never see it again. But the things that you take from those challenges, you know, I would say and just recently in the past couple of years, there were some challenges that were put in front of me that I did not know were that I needed that exposure.
That you didn't think you could do them, or you just thought, "Why am I doing this?"
Why well, I was more of a I didn't realize that I didn't have the exposure, and it
Eh,
truly for me, it was underground utilities.
yeah.
I've always been blessed to have superintendents who they just were phenomenal at what they did, and they were able to handle it. Very little had to come across my path, and, you know, I learned so much from the challenges, dealing with the municipality to actually, you know, watching that work go in, have to be removed and replaced because there were issues with it, all of those things. So what I took out from that, I just wouldn't change it for the world.
I the one thing I remember about underground or utilities, number 1, know it's in the dirt.
Yes.
Radar, pothole, probe,
Mhm.
scratch, kick, whatever, but know it's in the dirt.
Yes.
Know where it's at. And then the other part I remember is those permits and dealing with some of the utility companies, those permits were a pain.
Very much so.
We were contracted to put a relief for 2 storm ponds down the side of the road. So we laid it out. We had three-phase power. We had a 6-inch high pressure gas main. We had communication lines, fiber optics, not just the regular
Mhm.
communication line, all in the same spot. And we tried to figure out what to do with it. And they said, "Well, just call the power company. Tell them to move the the utilities." We knew that wasn't gonna
Sure.
happen.
Right.
And, "You what?" Well, we wound up not putting it in. It wound up actually having to be a directional bore for that. But it's a good area for you to have experience in it well around you.
Absolutely.
Now, you've seen a lot of projects in your life. What was your most favorite event on a project? And I know not a topping out party, but one of your most favorite events.
Topping out parties are always a good time.
Well, when I say
But
event, I don't
yeah,
mean like topping out
no,
party. I'm talking
no.
about something you learned, somebody took you aside, or you witnessed something you've seen that went, "Wow,
Wow.
this is wonderful."
So this was actually on the one of the government work, one of the government jobs that I worked on. We ran into, some unsuitable soils
Oh, I've done that
and,
before.
blue and purple in color and things of that nature, and we were actually putting a retaining wall on that wall or on that area that needs to be built. It was a complete it was 100% cut fill project, so it was the side of a mountain, and we were filling in and had to put this retaining wall in place, 35 foot, and s dealing with that kind of an unsuitable was very interesting, but the aftermath of it, that area had not seen a 100-year rain event ever, and after the project was completed, they had a rain event, and there were a lot of challenges afterwards. So being exposed to while it was the craziest thing I had ever seen when it came to the soils and just learning about how to handle that, but also understanding how to, handle the legal side when something like that happens. So it came full circle. It truly was a really, really good learning experience.
I've been on 3 or 4 of those projects in my
Yeah.
life where you dig.
Mhm.
Then you and particularly with the dewatering and all the other things that has to be taken care of. One of the most fun ones I had was holding back 9 feet of water with 60 mil reinforced poly.
Oh, wow.
We did a project in a theme park, and they wanted the project out in the water. And so we took this system, and it looked like steel trusses. They were laid back and forth and laying on the ground. And we took this 60 mil poly and we hooked it over the top of the trusses. We were holding back actually a little over 9 feet. Our trusses were 12 feet up.
Mhm.
And we ran it down the truss and we ran it out 30 feet and we got our dive gear on and we dug a little trench and turned it down in it about a foot in the soil. And then we went inside and we turned the pump on. And I said, "How's that going to work?" Well, guess what? The weight of the water pushing down on top of that poly, that 30-foot
Mm.
little pad of poly, the weight of the water pushing down on that, and when we turned that pump on and drew the water out. And then we had to dewater the ground so we could get our utilities in and meet compaction and stuff.
Right.
That was a fun challenge. And I actually had a lady that worked on the project with me that was our project accountant, project engineer. It was a small project. And I remember her walking out with me and we're going, "This is cool."
Those are the I'd say honestly, typically it's the ones that challenge you the most that I find are the most fun. It may not be in the moment
No.
when you're going through it, but afterwards you look back and say, "Wow, like this is why I do it."
Do you ever go when you're driving down the road or you're out with a group of people, you ever go like, "That was my building?"
I do. I do. When my family visits very often, we'll drive by different sites I'll never forget the first time my grandfather I went home for a visit and he said, "Show me something new that you're working on." And I thought, "Nah, I've made it." Like he's asking about this now.
Yeah,
So I thought that was really neat to have that experience. And they're always asking, "What are you doing now? What are you building? Is it something cool? Is it driving you crazy? Any of those things?" So, and there's a great opportunity to be able to, share that with
yeah.
people. So
So, anything else you'd like to bring up for NAWIC in that wonderful organization?
So I just as a reminder, annually we have some great opportunities for the bringing in the younger generation. While we offer the training and development for those that are in the industry or adults that would like to continue their education, we also have these opportunities for the children. So Block Kids happens every January here in the Central Florida chapter, and we also have a construction career camp. It is for incoming ninth grade through juniors in high school. And it's a free program. It's a week long event where the students are able to go in, they build a project, they learn about all different aspects of the industry, and they're able to have a little career fair at the end of the week. And then they bring their parents back in to let them see what they've been doing for the week.
And this
So
is what time of the year is
this
this?
is June.
So
That was we have that every June for and it's typically right around the 2nd week, so
okay, and they could find this on the website to
yes,
narrow down the date.
absolutely.
Well, NAWIC is a wonderful organization. I'd
Thank
love
you.
to see how it's progressing and helping people along with their futures. So, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for
It's
having
been
me.
great, Tara, and hopefully again, we'll see you in one of the NAWIC meetings or here at the ABC.
Absolutely, thank you.
This is Joe with another edition of Joe on the Job Site. Thank you.